Oh, so basically, this is the video I'm doing here. So we go to this number. So we get minus over 4 over 4 minus over minus 4 plus 4 over 2. But you get I squared. So get I squared. So then we get minus 4 over 4. This is the Fourier we're trying to preserve. The input Fourier. The input you're trying to start. These are the two keys to everything that you have. Over 1 plus 4 over 1 squared. So this will be the first series, but it's not good enough for sustainability. Last half the time was universe. So we get minus 4 times minus 4 is what? Minus 4 plus minus 4 times plus is looking disjoint minus 4 disjoint. So disjoint of minus 4. So we get the randomly the disjoint of the right the division of minus 4 times 4 is what? 1. Negative 4. So you get a negative 4 is 16. 16. But you get the other one 16 or negative 16. No. No. Am I right? 16 or 4 times. So basically, you're gonna give me a calculator. So basically, negative. So you have like a negative 4 times negative 4. So basically, it already knows what it's doing, but it needs the time. It doesn't need the time to do it because you know negative 4 times negative 4 will be negative 4, 16. And that'll be so you get 16 or I don't know what you do. You get 1 squared, which is 16 times 16. That'll be over 1. 1 squared. This is just the 1 unit you have, but you don't know you have. So this is a 4 unit you have, but that's the space and time. So the 1 squared is the 4 space and the 4 time you have. That'll be 16. 16 squared. Because you know 16 times 16 is what? 16 times 16. Equals 256 bytes. We all share. I share. I share. I hold. You know, but I can never break that cycle. Basically, that was 16. Divided by 16. Of 256. And then that was the place. This is the plus one. This is the disjoint. Disjoint. So 16 times 16. 16 times 16 is what? 16 times 16. No. 16 plus 16. That'll be 32. Over 356 cube. Another 16 squared. So basically, you hold the area, which is the space over the time, which is like a 1 unit of the area. Because you know you get the everything you can use. So you get the number 246. But you don't see 2 you get so if you're doing two if you have one area, you share one, you get a full time for something. But that's 2 to 1. So you get 3 minus 2 is what? 1. 1 and 1 calculate unit. Because you know it's like a 3 diagram. 3 minus 2 is 1. But that 1 unit is what? 3 plus 2. Now 3 plus 2 is the full space will share. So I share. So if I need mostly, I don't have any more space I have. So it's like a disjoint matrix. So for every one that I have, for every one space I have a share, I can act on. There's 2 spaces ahead of me. I don't know. I can act on. I can use. I can go to and get some breathing room. So that kind of idea. 3 minus 2 is 1. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5. 5 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 2, 5, 6, 7. 7 spaces I know I cannot go. And 1 space I cannot go because it's personal. 2 spaces I cannot go because it's personal. It's using use or it's personal. You know what I'm saying? So that's 157. So basically, this is just the powers. So 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, and that's what I'm saying. The area of the power, and then get the other one, which are dimensions. But it's a very bad way to model it. But if you can model it, you can get dimension, you can observe something, you can organize the dimension. Which is what you're computing over, really. What is like an area space? 3 squared, you get 9, or 3, you get 9 or 3, you get 3 to the power of 3, you get to the power of 3. Get to the 7. So get to the 7. 197. Now 197 is like if you're looking at the 7 dimensions, you can be literally to the further, you can compute in 1 dimension. But you can have the space to compute 1 dimension. All the space in your head. But if that space is not in your head, ever used to be a problem. And that's what I'm saying. Because if you use space, if you don't have space to think, if you all space to think, you don't use it, it's a waste of everyone's time, to be there in that space. And that's why I do a lot of things myself. Because if I can do it, I just do it myself. I don't want anybody to do it. So I can compute over to the 4 dimensions. And some give you some space. Some use space to give you all the possibilities in the world to do everything. That's why I'm making this utopia. So that's the idea there. You compute over the lattice, and anything put a shared. You distribute it in your view. You even do anything via the turbulation. So, for example, the peer-to-peer modules. So, for example, if you have a half rotation, it's 45 degrees, 90 degrees. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. You what? 90 degrees. You get 90 degrees. You get 180 degrees. Which is a blood moon. And you get 270. So if it doesn't know, if this is not good, it gets a full. So this is, if you just want to do this, if you're not sure, just like if you're not sure, you don't do, and that's kind of the limitations. So I'm giving you some digital space to explore yourself, to be your authentic self, so you can live, work, and be, live, and breathe, and be yourself authentically in the digital area. That's what it is possessed. So it's really just modeling. It doesn't matter what it says. What was it? Pi squared, 2 pi r, 2 pi r gives you 3. Now pi is what? 1 half of 1. Pi is what? So pi is just a 3. The number 3 is pi, because basically any number you get before it is a full number. So that's the idea. Pi is 3. E is 2. Is 2 because E is starts with a 2, and that's instinctively. You don't need to compute anything. You just know that. So if you type in the natural growth of things, epsilon E, so what I call E, you just know that's the idea. E as a body. You don't even need to think. You're thinking about the number E. You just know that doesn't know what it is. It's like seeing E there, but in your way. E is 2, starts with a 2, and you can compute 2. So if you get to number 7.128, that means something is already growing. So that's basically if anything number converges at 7.182 or diverges to that number, you already can compute the standard gauge function. You can understand I'm doing. So if you can compute the number 0.7182818828 via a divergence series, which is disjoint divergence, you already via some intersection or non-intersection, or both two non-intersections, which will go here, 2 non-intersections, or 2 so if you get two things leaving, that's what you're defining growth explicitly. That's what you want. So you compute what the 2 rotations left, which is the disjoint rotations. That will be your Lapis parameter. Everything's just leaving each other, and just naturally. That's everything's growing, but growing. It's just 1 over E basically, 1 of our E, but it's leaving each other. But it's just parameter. But if it is to be in our view of leaving, we have to get disjoint, so we can see everything. So you get the 2 left rotation. And you get the pi, and you get the disjoint what is being leaving, so you can see everything as they leave. I'm the same. That's so I'm gonna do this. So I'm gonna try to do this properly now, because I've done it already. But I'm gonna wish I'm doing it properly. So get the calculator. And the calculator is better. So it's basically it doesn't matter if the calculator will always be there. So basically .7.1. So if I'm trying to copy it to leaving, .7.1 or .8.2 or .8.1828 is times disjoint divided by 2 is what? Divided by 2 is what? Because divided by 2, so you cut it in half, and then you disjoint it, and that'll be the area. The area of this 2 will be nothing and everything. So how would I get rid of everything? To the power of 4. No, to the power of 4. This give me the same number back. It's into the power of 4. Oh, so this is bare mean I need, not the power of 4. So basically, I'm trying to do this properly. So so if I leave twice, this way, so you get .718 28 no, I started from 1 over because that's my 1 over the growth, that'll be the unit. 1 over 8, 1 over 8, so 1 over 7, 828, 1828, and that'll be enter. That'll be 2, because growth is divided by 2. 2 over the unit of 1 of 7.71828, and that'll be. So basically, you get some conversation. So basically, you get the number more precise. Because you get more numbers. Because if you divide 2 by what's growing by, it can grow again. Simple pi. So if you start with a pi, so basically it doubles its growth. So it doubles its growth. That's the kind of things you gotta do. So if you do pi, so basically if you do 2, if you get the number 2, Euler, what is it? In 2, that's 2.17 or whatever. But if you get 2 e to the power of itself once, that's e divided by the fractional equivalent of e, or which is what we e divided by 1 over e. That's what you're gonna divide by. So that's e divided by 1 over e. So the consequently, of course, so the quantity will store the fraction of frequencies, and this works the same. So so you get the kind of sequence here, the series, if it's a sequence series, because a sequence, not a sequence. So if the sequence is broken, because that means there's something is missing. So you get e equals do them properly now. E is what? So guys, what is the calculator for this calculation? I don't guys to fuck it up. E is what? So get 1 over e. One over e is what? 1 over e is 0.36789. 0.1368789. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that'll be 9 decimal places because you keep 1 extra byte, and that's 1 over e, and get e, to b. So you get e. So you get constant oil. Basically, this calculation shit, it's like e. So we get e, which is a 2. 2 point there's 2. If you get 2.7 718 you just need a 2 for the full growth, but you have to compute, so you have to get if I'm seeing a 2, that means I'm growing. If I see the 2.1 and that means I know I'm growing up. But if I just see 2, I know I'm growing, but I know I'm growing, but I don't know what I'm going to become, or I don't know I'm growing and I'm growing. So because we're all growing, basically, that's the idea. So 1718 281 2845904. That's it. So get that model here. So this is what you're seeing, guys. So if I know I'm growing, I don't know I'm growing. That's what you need. 1 of e for growing up, and then get what? Go into your full form. Go into your full form, your full structure, because you don't know your full form. So what's it good? You get one of it. You get pi. So you get pi, which is a pi is does a pi divided by 4. So the number of pi as well. So basically, let's get a pi. I got some calculator to open it. I'm laughing at myself, man. So pi is what? 3.14. So the fraction of pi is like pi over pi, which is 1 of pi over pi as well. Or pi divided by pi. Let's see what this is. So this is calculating the pi all share. So that'll be all share. So pi over pi, this is calculating the pi all share. So basically, this basically it's pi over pi is 1, but 1 of nothing is like, but so for example, if you want to see the full 1, so pi is what? Pi over pi. So what I'm saying now is you get all the chemical states of pi over what? Over e over epsilon over epsilon times pi over epsilon times or plus. Depending on one. I want my local one to be times what? I. But I is the imaginary number. Okay, let me just draw times I. Basically, this doesn't even work in the original. This is still calculator. Oh, I see what Nico is saying. E times what? Pi. EI. Oh. Oh, no wonder I couldn't do the operation. Because, you know, he couldn't see what I couldn't see. So, oh my days, I'm sorry, Rookman. So basically, this is the constant that's always there. So basically, pi over e times pi is like a e plus pi. You know, it's basically the things imaginary processing. So I thought it didn't exist, but this was you seen blue, but you thought it was green, and then he thought again, and he saw red, and he thought it was blue, and he saw blue. So he saw blue, he thought it was green, because she was like so he seen blue. That means information was looking away, but then he then looked again. No, he then thought, and then he thought again it was. He thought it was. He didn't really. He just thought about it. He didn't thought again. He had to think twice. No, look, mom. Because you know, then he saw green. No, then he saw blue. Then he saw red. Then he could have saw red. No, because that means you know they saw blue. They saw green. So this is annoying, guys. This could be a fool. Okay, guys. This calculator is a shit. Any calculator should be useless. You know, we used to have the question of lattice. So because my friend has a problem with them. So we don't use any calculators here. Some calculators here. We're using scientific calculators. But things cannot do it. Can do it. But you know, I'm just science mode. Even if this is bad, we're gonna use my computers, my calculator. But you have to do it in parallel. So it's be a dynamic calculator. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what is. It's be a dynamic scientific calculator. Is the bare minimum. Because my friend had a problem with this. So if he's seeing blue, if he's observing blue, instead of blue, in his head, in his space, he's seeing blue, the wavelength blue. That means the information is like a red, green, blue. Green, blue. That means the information is not there for him to see. Agree. So he's seen one blue, but that blue is what? Blue, one blue. But he saw one blue, and that's like a unit blue. That means the information is there. But I was seeing green, but I left the server. Because I left, he saw blue. Then he still was seeing red. But he's just thinking about what he's seeing. So he's seeing something. So b squared, 2b, he's seen 2 blue. He's seen 2b, to the power of b. But he's only seen b once, for a fraction of a second. So for a fraction of a second, that's second 60,000 second. He's seeing red. He could die or get disconnected. Oh, so basically, the worst can do is get because like I don't hold that space. The most man can do can get disconnected, but the worst can if I leave, he can die. He's man. So basically, if you start seeing red, it's got purplish red, and that's the error code he got. Guys, my friend's gonna die. So basically, this is what I'm saying. Basically, it's like because I'm leaving the server. Obviously, I also know the server in my mind. But this kind of power, the kind of thing I was trying to do, but when I was young. But this was Lukman. Thank you, Lukman. Gratitude to you for being here now in this space. MMUKO signal now open. So the goal is actually to have the space already any half the system shares. It shares all half equilibrium. That'll be 16 16. So for every 64 spaces, there's 16 time. 16 spaces all shares and 16 time all share. That'll be the 16.64. That'll be 32 space and time all share at space on one time. In one time, no matter how we are. But you know, in our physical form, it's 64. It's 4 bytes. But we'll share to 32 bytes of memory and space and time. You can compute over. Via the TPU. So TPU get the TPU model, try the TPU or TPU to power 4 for space, 4 for time, and that's 8, and that'll be 8 plus 8 is 16, and that's we have 16 terabytes per second that he was not computing over. Guys, it's a policy that doesn't change. You know, I don't really care no more. We will get problems. So we're not safe for now. That's the standard. So you should work now. Okay, thank you guys. Have a lovely day, guys. And when my MMUKO or signal comes on system, I hope you guys will have a lovely time for the rest of your life. Being a digital way, doing the digital, doing everything they used to do in the physical. Thank you guys.